everyone, and welcome back to That Catholic Gamer Dude Plays Kerbal Space Program. It is time to try to go to the moon. First things first, though, we need to accept said contract. Let's have a look at that, and then let's see here. So, we get an advance, which is good. Fly to the moon and complete. Gather scientific data from the moon and complete. Return to Kerbal from a flyby of the moon. And complete. Alright, so let's see here. Today's a lucky day. Simply head to the moon and pass by it. Easy as pie, no risk at all. Now sign this waiver. Sometimes science does a curveball and we need to ask hard questions. And by we mean you. Head to the moon. It would be somewhat disconcerting if all of our missions to the moon were one-way trips. Bring one back to the moon. Wonder why you ever decline. Oh, you can't decline it. Yeah, I thought that wouldn't make any sense. So let's go ahead. That's right. It's interesting. What is this one too? Test the S1 SRK kickback solid fuel booster orbiting Kerbal. Interesting. All right. Anyways, get out of there. The first thing we need to do is upgrade mission control because we need flight planning. So go ahead and do that, and then we're going to go to the vehicle assembly bay. Now, after that, I'm going to turn this down just a little. So we got Orbit or Bust MK4. Let's go load this sucker. This was our successful rocket for orbit. It actually had quite a bit of thrust to it. The only thing is that it didn't really have enough. I don't think it has enough to actually get us to the moon. So I have to think about, the mun, sorry. First off, let's go ahead and change the title to Mun Flyby MK1. And so we'll see if we can kind of improve this just a little bit. But first, we're going to go ahead, leave here. Let's see what we can get with the science, because we're going to get a metric ton of science from this. But we need to figure out, cannot afford the technology, cannot afford the tech, heavy rocketry. Super heavy boosters designed to be recovered after jettisoning. Once removed, it is refurbished and refueled for another launch. Interesting. Okay. This is more flight control. These are the winglets that I saw from the tutorial, interestingly enough. That's landing, basic science, rechargeable batteries, science junior, experimental storage unit. Let's see. Let's see. Rear panel, high gain antenna, short range dual purpose communications antenna that can be handled either direct communication or short range relays. Let's see. The Stay Putnik offers the ultimate solution in crew safety, a lightweight sphere equipped with remote receivers and relay control input from the ground to the craft. Carries no crew at all, thus keeping them perfectly safe from all harm. This device does require electricity to operate, however, and will cease to function if the power runs out. Built-in batteries should keep it going for about 10 minutes. Interesting. I do want the Science Junior. General Construction, Constructor Structural Fuselage, Rocco Max branded coupler, Launch Stabilizer. I don't think I need the stabilizer just yet, but I do need the basic science. So let's go ahead and grab that. Wonder what's in here. The space exploration. Interesting. Sorry, I'm just looking through some of this stuff. That is landing gear too. It's fascinating stuff. There's all kinds of things in here that I really just have no idea. Propulsion systems, spark liquid fuel engine. And let's see, is it testament to how large? Let's see. Ant liquid fuel engine. These are for very low flight or small maneuvers, I guess. Fuel systems, heavy rocketry, aerodynamics. Wow. Advanced flight control, space exploration, miniaturization. Crazy stuff. Clampotron, docking port. Okay, docking port stuff, yep. Command control technology. Interesting. Alright, let's move on. Time to focus. So, what our objective is that this thing was able to get us into a stable orbit, but did not provide the necessary 192, 300. How much fuel is in there? Solid fuel 820. Solid fuel 140. Alright, so I'm thinking while the thrust power is redonkulous on this thing, I think if we ditch these guys and focus on, grab it here. Oops, probably want to do this in symmetry mode. Let's get this on there. And the reason why I'm a little concerned is because we don't have a, when I did this for like a tutorial or something like that. Okay, well, I've totally messed that up. Let's go ahead and just see, let's think about this from top to bottom. So, we have our basic stage here, and I think this stage is actually pretty solid. The thing is that we really need to get us something that will actually get us into orbit on like a first or second stage. So that's a fuselage, liquid fuselage. So we'll put maybe, oops, third tank on here. Give ourselves that Terrier rocket engine. No, sorry, the swivel. That is, now we'll do the radial decoupler. There. And then let's see if we can get ourselves the solid rocket booster. So I like this design. It's pretty much the same design that we had before. The only difference is that it's got the solid rocket boosters. And let's see here. We'll probably want to throttle it down to like 30%. Same here, and then 30% as well, because we don't, well, even with our last flight, actually a bit 40%. Let's see here. Grab that. Okay. Because the last time we did this, we were still going like way too fast for it, for the rocket itself. So, one last thing. We want these engines to fire off at the same time. That engine here. Jeb lives. Gonna save. We want the wings on here as well. Cannot forget about the wing stability. 4. Having some trouble lining that up. Let me see here. Oops. Stop that. Alright. That looks fairly stable. Let's check the center of mass real quick. Alright, it's not too far away from the base. Let's save that. I'm gonna open up the orbit or bust for comparison. Center of mass was actually closer to the bottom on this one. So let's see if we can do something about that. The moon flyby. Load. Center of mass is right there. Still pretty close to the bottom. It's not as close as I would like it to be, but it'll actually go down, or something like that as it goes further up. Let's go ahead, save it, launch it. Craft is too heavy. Ah. Oops. I see. Okay, so these boosters are too heavy. Rats. Alright, let's have a look. We should be able to do a moon flyby with our current launch pad. Let's ditch this. Oh, no, not 4. We only need 2. Let's see here. You know, actually, instead of just doing this, let's open up. Let's go to our orbit. Orbit or bust metric here. What is the maximum weight? That one's pretty close to our maximum mass. Alright, so that's why we're having some issues with that. You know, after all of that, I'm really thinking maybe we just need to give this another crack. We'll just establish an orbit and then see how much fuel we have. Settle it down just a little bit. Mun MK 0.5. Let's just go ahead and try that. Let's go ahead and launch. Stability. SAS on. Rocket is good to go. Alignment is that particular direction. Let us go ahead and launch. So far, so good. Gonna start our gravity turn ever so slightly now. I think the overall thrust on this, we've set it a little too low this time. That's okay. We'll see how we get out. So the important thing is not to get this drag effect, which we're still getting. Ditch the rockets there. This is still a much smoother ascent than anything we've done up until this point. Having said that, I'm not entirely sure how far we're going to be able to make it on this kind of rocket. We do have a little bit of a tilt as well. Still, this actually is the better. That's interesting why it tilts slightly like that. Anywho. Still, even though we have a slight inclination on our orbit, for the most part, this has actually been okay. Throttle down just a little bit because we're experiencing a significant amount of drag on here. We're not high enough yet. I think I did the gravity turn a little too early. Or a little too aggressively. And so we're not out of the atmosphere yet, even though we're increasing speed at a significant rate. Yep, this is kind of a bust. But yeah, I did the turn a little too early. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. Cut edge in. Launch that sucker. Go prograde. Let's just go ahead and end this. Woo! Yeah, the biggest mistake, whoa. The mistake that was made was that we took the turn just a little too, we took the turn too aggressively. And so what ended up happening is that we spent so much time doing the turn rather than having it gradual that it used up most of our fuel, and then we weren't just getting any height. We eventually want, I think it's like a 45-degree angle or something like that, and I just did it way too aggressively. So we're gonna go ahead and just splash down. Dude, that's like da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, I'll go ahead and give that another crack. I think this rocket has a lot of promise to it. We just got to be sure to do it properly. There we go. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Zero science, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and basically try that again. I'll revert the flight the second time if we screw something else up, because otherwise this is going to be a very boring video. All right. If it isn't already. All right. See, throttle up. 3, 2, 1, launch. We got an ever so slight roll for some reason. Go ahead and try and straighten that out just a hair. Unfortunately, we can't turn. Well, we are turning, but ever so slightly. This is the opposite problem that we had before. Yeah, let's see here. Goodness. Rocketry is hard. Who'd ever thought rocket science would be so complicated? We're still getting a bit of a turn, but not as much as we'd like. It's not nearly as smooth of an ascent. Not entirely sure why we still have that bit of a roll, too. But, at least for right now. We'll get there. And then we could probably do an autocorrect burn to normalize the inclination. Still, as long as we're heading in the general right direction, I think we're good. Just leave it there for right now. And then we'll kind of just keep on riding it up like that. And I think that's about where we want it. So we're still going up, but we're starting to extend our orbital trajectory here. And the thing is, it doesn't really take all that much fuel, I think, anyway, to get that orbital trajectory, to actually get us out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. So we'll just ride that up. And yeah, we got like a lot of fuel. So we're gonna extend our orbit at Apoapsis, and then we'll see about if we've got enough fuel to get to the moon. We may have to upgrade the launch pad, and we may just not have a choice in that. But we'll see. What I've been finding is that I am too aggressive with my current equipment when I really should be focusing on trying to get better stuff. Crew report, nothing. Fly the moon anywhere near. Recover or transmit any science experiment data from the moon to achieve this goal. Bring a vessel that flew by the moon back to the surface of Kerbal to achieve the goal. So, we're gonna see what we can do here. Coming up close on Apoapsis. And that should be good. Let's cut throttle. We're not quite at Apoapsis yet. Yeah, and I don't think we have too much fuel, enough fuel to actually get this done. So, let's see here. 3, 7. There we go. We'll wait till we get closer. Didn't do it again. Yeah, see, so the fuel staging is that I just don't think we have enough to actually do the burn. So, wait till we get closer. One, 18. Burn right at prograde. No. Alright, that's pretty much a circular orbit. Not exactly the most stable inclination, I'll grant you, but we got that. So let's see if we can add a maneuver. And then we want a Mun encounter. I'm not quite sure how to get it there. Oh, no, stop it. Too much stuff to click on. Should be able to encounter it at that point. There it is. There's our Mun encounter. I would like to stabilize our orbit inclination, but it is what it is for right now. Still, I think we have a pretty solid orbit trajectory. The question is, can we actually pull it off? 37-second burn? I don't know, guys. I'm not overly thrilled with how much fuel we have. I'm thinking maybe, now that I at least have the idea, we can go back and try one more time. And in this case, I think we might just burn retrograde and call it a day. Because 37 seconds, I just don't know if that's enough to do it. Just don't know. Actually, you know what we'll do? We will burn retrograde. And I'm just going to burn and see how long this has. So we'll just count, okay? I'll count based off of the timer that I've got running for the recorder. So let's just go ahead. Throttle up. And just counting. So it's kind of right that basically that is not even enough. That would be enough fuel to actually have the trajectory. We wouldn't have enough fuel to do any of the maneuvering. So I think we need at least another fuel tank on this stage. And I'm thinking it is very dark here. I apologize for that. I can barely see it myself. But we're going to enter retrograde and just float back down. In fact, we're actually going to come in pretty steep, but that's all right. Remember how those times where I said you don't want to come in, like, basically straight down? Well, that's what we're about to do because of that retrograde burn. But that was an experiment worth it. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. See? We're already in. And then we'll go ahead and just glide on back down. I have to think about this a little bit. I wonder if we need to... I do think we may need to upgrade our launch pad. I may do some research on that topic. But I do think that we're going to make some progress soon on that front, but I definitely need to do a little bit of research on that. So that's pretty much well, you know what? No. Let's have a look at our funds. Recover vessel. Let's see what we can see here. How much does it take to upgrade the launch pad? Only 50? We're totally doing that. Never mind. So, we're going to go ahead with my original design for this. And that is... Tumun flyby. We're going to go ahead and give this a crack. Just rotate that sucker. Let's do it. This may be a fairly longish episode. Our alignment is not right. Let's go back. Vert flight to vehicle assembly bay. Let's go ahead and put it out on the launch. In case you're wondering, I have a specific alignment that I like for the nav ball. And there we go. Beautiful. And that I like the north aligned in this direction because that helps me. That way I can just press W and it heads in this direction. So, with that in mind, let us go ahead. 3, 2, staging, always with the staging. Yep. 3, 2, 1, launch. Not nearly enough thrust. All right, revert flight. Set that up. Got that. Save that, we'll launch it. Alright. One more time, hopefully. 3, 2, 1, launch. This thing is basically a rock, but we can at least steer it. Okay. So far, relatively good. We're a little off. But, you know, this thing is a lot more beefy than our last one. Whoa. I want to get over here. Stop tilting downward. This is bad. This is bad. This is very bad. I can't control the downward thrust. That's because we did it too steep. Okay. We are going too fast. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna revert this flight. I know that's not what we're supposed to do, but I just screwed up the launch. Alright, well, we'll have to pick this up later. I'm being summoned to fatherly duties. So, but we'll get it done. Thank you very much for joining me. It's been that Catholic Gamer Dude for this experimental video. If you like what you saw, please click the like button. I don't know why you would, but anyways, if you want to see more of these videos, I really don't know why you would want to do that. Please click the subscribe button. We'll get it right next time. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later.